I'm Kim Conti, and this is my husband, Sean. We're the owners of Pawprints of Vero Beach, and the reason I know Joe and the reason we're here today is 100 years ago, I'm a little bit younger than Joe, but 100 years ago, Joe and I worked with Johnson & Johnson in our past. I was in my 20s when I started with Johnson & Johnson in cardiology.
Right, and actually my background is in fitness, personal fitness. I owned a personal training gym in Micro-Entrepreneurial Beach, Florida.
So you guys are sitting there thinking, how does this play into owning a doggy daycare? Well, we are considered dinks, double income, no kids. We have dogs. And as we worked through our lives over the 20 years, we had to run home and take care of our dogs every day. And we were finding ourselves cool. Nobody let the dogs out. Nobody walked the dogs. We started looking at this and saying, hey, we could do better than these veterinary hospitals or these doggy daycares. So we started about a 2-year search. As we did our travels, our vacations, we started to go to every doggy daycare that we went to in New York City, in DC, in Europe. Anywhere we traveled, we check out competition and think about what we liked, what we didn't like.
And what we saw a lot was there was a lack of professionalism, not great customer service. Some of these facilities you walk into and it was like a prison for dogs. It wasn't a place that you would feel comfortable leaving, your family member.
So we started to think about what we wanted to create. And with that, our first probably thought that came across our mind is what is our mantra? What are we trying to do? We're trying to create a safe, secure environment for our dogs to run to play and socialize. And as we kept beating that into our heads, we realized,
there was not our credo. This is what, if you come to our property, you'll see all of our employees wearing their credo card. Their credo card says to create a safe, secure place for dogs to run, play, and exercise. It's why we're here and why everyone else is employed.
So great, we got a one-liner, we got a tagline. Now, how do we get to a business? Now we start the process of, if we're going to leave our careers, what do we need to leave our careers? And one of the lines I live by to this day is, I do what I have to do to be able to do what I want to do. So that means I have to start to budget, cut costs.
And like budgeting means, anything that is not essential. If it's not rent, if it's not food, if it's not gas in your car, it needs to be reviewed and dropped. So we got to a place where preparing for the eventual construction and formation of Pawprints that, Kim would cut my hair, Kim would mow the lawn at Pawprints, which was 6 acres. Anything to save money, anything to put a little more in our war chest for when we open. Right. So it's the week that we're supposed to get our permit from the county. So we've jumped through all the hoops. We're good with construction, with traffic, with the health department, and we're thinking we should be able to open up that next week, and we get hit with impact fees.
Impact fees are, how does your business impact the environment you're in? You're driving down the road, there's an impact fee for the number of cars coming to my business. Now, we don't know anything about impact fees. Nobody ever educated us on them, but they tell me on a Thursday afternoon when we're trying to open the next week, your impact fees are only $20,000. After getting off the floor, having a heart attack and crying for 3 days, my county contact, I reached out to her and every day talked to the county. Every day I was in there having a conversation. And by the time Monday at 3:00 came around, my impact fee was $576. That's the kind of persistence it takes owning your own business. Don't let one roadblock put you down. Cry it out, get back on your horse and get in there and fight.
So we get open. We have our first day at Pawprints where we're set up, ready to go, and we have 3 dogs show up to Pawprints.
And then we start getting my parents who are supposed to support me, right? Hey, Kim, if you fail, we'll buy it and make it a restaurant. Hey, Kim, my brother, if you fail, you must be in a midlife crisis, leaving a 6-figure job to start a doggy daycare. Nobody's going to show up. Are they too crazy? They're having a mental breakdown. And we really had to go, okay, let these people go. We got to stay away from them for a while. We know where we're going with this.
Right. So, when we finally do open up and start working, we're seeing that there's actually a need for our business, that people just like us, want to make sure their dogs have a safe, secure place to run and play during the day. But as we start meeting and talking to more of our customers, we find out there are other opportunities beyond what we thought we wanted to do.
So immediately customers come in after dogs play all day. They're like, Kim, they're dirty. Can you wash them? Shoot, all I need is a tub and some water. Yeah, I can wash a dog. And then Sean has a great idea. Kim can groom them too. So I go from cardiology to now grooming dogs. And it was a very panic type situation where I was screaming at my husband going, this line is straight, especially Joe on those schnauzers.
By listening to our customers, by staying flexible, we were able to capture more revenue. And that bathing, grooming program now generates about $200,000 a year for us. Our goal was to learn something new or something interesting about our industry each week. And if you do that every week, over a period of time, over 5 years, you become an expert in that industry. So we've never stopped our process of listening, of going out and talking to people who know more than we do and getting better at our jobs.
And all you guys who are business owners, small business owners, you realize, like your bankers just talked to you about, you have to have those relationships. When COVID hit, our banker, I picked up the phone. I said, what do we got to do? Because we're going to have to shut down for a month. And she says, we got to get your mortgage in check. We got to get these things in check. And we didn't know about PPP for a couple of weeks. But she immediately put us on a waiver of all of our expenses for 3 months. That was how easy it was. I have a local bank, Seacoast National, but during this process of having this relationship over the years with Seacoast, I also found dog lovers at Seacoast Bank who ended up saying they wanted to explore diversity with minority people as well as women. So we were the perfect couple. They put us on a commercial. So if we're doing a commercial free, what am I getting? So I got a seat on the board, and it allowed me to have those types of relationships with other powerful people in the community. We have never advertised, and we advertised the first year, but we have not advertised since then. So we've been in business 15 years, but our name recognition and our customer service speaks for itself. We don't advertise because we're full at all times.
You're going to run into roadblocks. You're going to have people tell you no. You're going to have people tell you you're crazy. It's how you respond to those challenges.
As we've continued to grow through this, Sean and I, we bounce off each other. As you can see, we work well together, but now we started getting employees. How do we get our employees to value the same things we do? That's why we have the credo that talks about what we want to do, and then we have our core values. And everybody on property wears our core values.
On the flip side of our credo card is our core values.
And if you don't have core values for your team or your business, I would recommend that you think about that, because you want everybody to walk the same walk that you're walking. So just wrapping it up, what made us successful? We did what we had to do to be able to do what we want to do. We worked our full-time jobs in order to be able to have enough money to start the business. Sean transitioned up here, and I continued to work both jobs until we were able to let us both go off of our first careers. We're flexible and we listen to our customers, and our customers kind of lead us down this growth path. All of you have businesses, and you can start thinking, who has said to me I should do this? And you might go, oh, no, I don't do that. You might start to think a little bit, think outside the box. How can that grow my business?
What can I do to make that happen, to capture that revenue? And one last thing. So that opening day where we had 3 dogs, we see between 100 and 200 dogs a day. Our gross revenue for this year will be $1.8 million. And we're actually on track to have our best year ever.
So don't take the negative feedback. Look at it as a challenge. Look at it as an opportunity. Take off.